guys, so in return for hitting a certain follower count, I had promised a while back to do some sort of tutorial video. When I made that original promise, I had intended on it being cooking, but since then I've gotten a lot into paper crafting, which you've seen with some of the Dr. Rivers stuff on my blog. And I figured I would show you how I'm making part of my Christmas cards, which involves paper embossing and cutting out ornaments. How I'm doing this is using a machine. This is called a Big Shot. It does stuff such as die cutting, embossing, all sorts of things. It is about $60 on Amazon. They normally run between $100 to about $130. You can get pro machines that are about, I think, $330. But this is the basic one. I'm using Stampin' Up! Products, which is a line of very quality stamping products that I just got into. I'm not using their Big Shot though because I had to save money and this was cheaper. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the embossing. The embossing is done with one of their texturized embossing folders. Texturized Impressions is the name of the line. This is their holiday frame. This folder has a little bit of oddity in that it's so intricate that if you're not careful with it, you will crease your paper. And so I had to spend the majority of last night figuring out how not to crease the paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm embossing with this. I have these panels that are going to adhere to the front of the card. And they are, the card itself is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4, and these panels are 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So I've got this, and I'm going to put this on here in what they call a sandwich, which when you do different combinations, it will exert the correct amount of pressure. This puts on about 300 pounds worth of pressure. You'll put the right amount of pressure to do the job, and you do different things, whether you're die cutting or using one of their little framelit things to cut out ornaments or other little pieces of paper. So I have the multi-purpose platform, a cutting mat. This is a photo, just a piece of cardboard that was the photo backing for namesake prints. And then I have the embossing folder right here. I'm actually doing this wrong. I need to take the cutting mat off. Usually if I was doing this the normal way with a normal embossing folder, I would have the tab flipped up and I would use 2 cutting mats. With this I'm just using one because I'm using the cardboard. I have a tendency, and usually when you see these tutorials on YouTube, you see people run them through very fast. And the key to getting this embossing right is to go very, very slow. So I'm just rolling through this slowly. It does not require a lot of pressure. That's all through. And here is the embossed frame. And it looked pretty nice. This is the back of it. This is actually upside down. There you go. And this is just a very nice embossed piece of paper. If you want to see some of my mistakes, you can see on this one some of the creases that are right there. That's the errors that I was getting on the old style before I finally figured out what I was doing. So this is all ready to be put on the cards. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some ornaments. And we're going to cut them out. This is the stamp that I'm using from Stampin' Up. It's called Night of Navy. I call it TARDIS Blue. It's up to you. Adjust this just a bit so you can see the stamping. I like these inks. They are very versatile and they provide a very good coverage. This is coming from Stampin' Up's line called the Ornament Keepsakes, and there's about 8 stamps in this. I do the clear backed stamps because they're cheaper, and it's also a whole lot easier to see the alignment through the blocks. Here I have my stamp, and it's already mounted to the block. So I'm just going to ink this up. That looks pretty good. To do a really good job inking these, I found that I just need to, you don't need to go tap, 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 tap with the stamps. You just need to do one firm tap, and because this is pretty intricate, you kind of want to press down to give good even coverage. And I'm going to do, because I've got several cards that I'm working on. I need to get the Canadian and the UK cards out the door. I'm going to do a second one. Okay, and that one was perfect. And you can see the ornaments that are stamped. This one on the left is a little bit lighter. This one on the right, though, is absolutely perfect. And this is why I love these stamps from Stampin' Up. They are such good quality here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the Big Shot. And I'm going to use what they call a framelit in order to cut out the ornament. Framelits are these little wafer thin ornament pieces. They have a little cutting edge right here. And what you do is you wind up outlining it, and you'll cut it out in the shape of an ornament, and it's going to look like that. One of the things I do like about Stampin' Up is that they have a lot of these matching sets where you can get the stamps and you get the framelits, and sometimes I'll even bundle them. This was a bundle. For this one, you do a different sandwich. You do the normal way of doing it. You do the platform, fold it down. You have a cutting mat on the bottom and a cutting mat on the top. Some people will use sticky notes to stick the little dies in place. I've found I've not needed to do that yet. And here is my complete ornament. And how I'm going to put this on the card is that I'm going to just take one of the embossed pieces of paper. And the front is largely going to look like this. And I might come back and narrate doing some of the rest of the card. If you'd like to see it, just drop me a comment. Or if there's any other techniques you would like to see. I'm learning, so I can just learn right along with you guys. I will talk to you later.